Boom, hey internet, Jon Phenom, clothing brand mentor. Now, you should know trends, but your brand should not be trendy. We're talking about lasting the test of time. And how do we do it? I'm about to talk about it right now in this video. Let's go. Boom. Now, this was a point of contention. There was a lot of back and forth in some of the earlier videos where I would talk about this, where I had said, you should definitely know trends. And the kickback or the clapback with maybe more designer, artist, like craft type people, maybe Etsy type person is, well, I don't need to know trends. I just need to know what I do well. And I would agree with that to a certain degree, right? Like, once you blow up to a certain point, if you're doing millions of dollars, you're doing multi-millions of dollars, you're gonna have to know trends, right? Because you're serving a larger portion of the society, right? Or you just have a bigger audience share. You have a bigger customer base. So in order to get people continuing to buy, right? To find a product that people are like, oh, I wanna buy that from this company, whether it's a hat, whether it's a t-shirt or a tank top or board shorts, whatever it is, offering that product where they're looking for that or not know they're looking for it because you design it very well is part of the problem you're solving as a business. So as a person who's been a creative director for a couple multi-million dollar brands and that's worked in apparel for over 20 years, I mean, to speak intelligently about your brand and where it lies in the cosmos, in the webosphere of like all of the competitors that surround or are mentioned with or are hung next to you on retail as a brand, to speak intelligently about where you're at in that whole world, you have to know what's going on in trending. I mean, if I'm speaking to a possible investor, someone who wants to maybe buy your brand, or just someone who purely deals with sales and really doesn't deal with concepts and things that are considered more artistic, as a director, I still need to speak intelligently to them in a more logistical manner of why our brand is different than other brands, right? And then you can get into categories at that point. And so let's do this. When Von Dutch made trucker hats very popular, like did millions with them, every brand had to have a trucker hat offering, right? Anyone that worked in the early 2000s knows this. If you didn't sell a trucker before, you have to at least offer it and see if you could get buys on it, because the trucker hat became a thing. They were just killing it with that, right? LRG, Lifted Research Group, multi-million dollar like streetwear brand. They did a full zip hoodie where they screen printed a face on the hoodie. Did a ton of product in that. That one's very specific where other brands did their version of it, but you kind of know that you were biting what LRG was because they kind of made it very specific. Like no one makes a hoodie necessarily that zips all the way up. I still see that design here and there on the internet, but doing something with ingenuity like that is maybe something that you would trend on and say, hey, what's a product that is very normal product that we can offer in a different way? Like maybe a hat with a negative Velcro on it and you switch out the patches. Now, a couple brands have done that. If you go, oh, I should do that right now, it takes a lot of money to do that. But color, all of these things, anything that a company does and it's like, wow, what a boom. No one saw that coming. It could be the fit, right? At the moment that I'm shooting this, baggy fits are coming back like crazy. So that's you changing the fit, and like whatever the standard cut on your jean is, now you gotta create a new fit, right? So you have to offer that right now if you're going into production and selling to a mass public, because your customer who's getting older may not be into it, but you're trying to get new customers inside of your demographic to buy for a couple years. So as your customers getting older, they might not buy your brand anymore. We're trying to induct newer people to buy the product, so introducing baggy fits might be a thing. Really quick, we want to give you a chart. Generally speaking, how I approach it as a director when I'm looking at a brand. And so I keep 20% of the products as very trendy products. Things that we think are taking over the market right now. And it's never more than 20% because I don't want the bulk of my offering to be that at all. To me, that's too risky. I'm not Virgil Abloh enough to be able to read the future or create the future as a great designer like that can do. You know, I'm a little bit more blue collar with it. And so the rest of it, like knits, outerwear, and then printables, everything like t-shirts and hats, anything that we're doing domestic. Those are all categories that I'm kind of leaning into. And then a little bit of a category for accessories. So hats would be inside of accessories, belts, wallets, those type of things that aren't a main staple of the brand. Has a little bit of share in there, but this is a chart of like how I would offer, generally speaking, to a cut and sew brand, like casual, ready to wear men's streetwear brand today. And so you can see where trending is with some of that. But just my thoughts on trending and why I say you should know trends. You can see 20% of my offering might be trendy, but you should know trends. There's a difference between knowing trends and being a trendy brand though. You don't want to risk the whole brand on it. Questions, drop them below, or you can hit me here at this email. See you guys on the next one. Peace.